Hey guys, welcome to the shop. I'm having a bit of an issue with what to do with the plywood here. So, putting it up top here is going to be an issue with everything else since the plywood's big, it's going to be heavy. So the idea that came up with is building a small shelf kind of thing right here. So let's see how that works out. First thing, I got to cut this wood down to 4 foot 6 inches. So I'm going to grab some safety glasses and go at it. Alright, so my plan is for the shelf to be flush with the bottom of this 2x4. And so I need to figure out how far down I'm going to need to make a board that'll go from the plywood off camera here, come down past the rafters and attach to this on the other side. And it looks like 13.5 inches. So let's cut 3 of those. Alright, so that's all the cuts that we need to make. Now this drill bit that I'm using is not the right size. I apparently have a hole in my pocket because I dropped the right size bit in the grass on my way out here. So I'm not going to drill all the way through, just a little bit so that the shaft of the screw without the threads on it, you know, it has less tendency to split. So now I'm going to line it up here next to the longer board, and I've got 2 3-inch screws, and as you can see, maybe, yeah, kinda. The threads on this screw almost go completely into the second piece of wood, and as my shop teacher told us, that is how we want it to be. So I would say this is about right. So I'm going to quickly switch over to a countersink bit so I don't pull through the wood too much. And again, it's not the right size bit, but for this I don't really care. Or it's not that I don't care, it's just it doesn't matter as much. So we've got our Phillips bit, and we'll go ahead and attach these. Alright, now normally I like to clamp everything down before I screw anything in, but right now all my clamps are used up with my basket. So, what can you do? Alright, so I've got all 3 of these made up. One issue that we have run into, or I have run into, is that side is just going to be screwed into the rafters, but how do I attach this side? And I found a little bracket, and it's just an angle, but there's a little slot here. It's there to make this angle sturdier. Also for my boat it helps me, so for the strap. But I thought this isn't going to be holding that much weight, so why not just screw this in with some little 2-inch screws, and then the 3-inch screws on this side to go into the wall. So let's see how that looks. Alright, so as I expected, the 2-inch screw goes through a little bit too far. So what I'm going to do is take these little roughly 1.5-inch blocks and put them underneath, just so that, you know, we don't stab ourselves on the tip of the screw. I could very well just get the angle grinder, but it's all the way in the garage and I don't want to walk that far. Alright, so I broke down and figured out how to take 2 clamps off of my basket. I'm currently gluing up the rim, but I think it should be good. I really like these quick grip clamps because it's like I have 2 extra friends helping me on this project. But whatever. I didn't videotape me putting this up because it was not pretty. But I have 3 screws in there. Got my little block down here so the screws don't poke out, although I don't know if I'm going to do that for the other ones because it's kind of in the corner. And over here I just have the bar clamped up. But if we step around back, we can kind of see that I have a line roughly vertical with the 2x4 that's coming up here. And I have countersink holes and a little bit of a pre-drill. So I'm going to go ahead and drill those in and then do the next 2. Alright, so I have 2 of them put up. I don't really have room for a 3rd one, so I'm not going to worry about it. The reason I chose where they're going to go, they need to go up against the rafters, obviously. But there are these little metal brackets, like this one here. And I don't want to screw into that because I feel like that's just going to cause some issues. So here is the 2. Now, you might not be able to see from the video, but this first one is warped kind of badly. But all the wood that I'm using for this is from the call packs, or the call pack that I just bought. It was like 12 bucks for 12 104 inch long ones. So let's see how the plywood fits. Alright, so everything fits. Let's take it off the tripod and have a little look around. Most of the plywood kind of stops up, about midway back. But the back end goes all the way back here. Awesome lighting. And I can do a pull up on the front one here, so that's, at least 220 pounds swinging from one of them. I imagine 2 of them will hold up very nicely. There's still a little bit of room on top there, maybe an inch or 2. But until next time, yeah.